This video is brought to you in part by Spubby, Eef Freef. So I discovered the furry fandom maybe late middle school, early high school, so it's about 5 or 6 years ago, but only just recently have I found myself getting really invested in the fandom and what it has to offer. Right now I won't really delve into how I became a furry, that's a video for another time. But I will talk about some of the things that I like about the fandom now that I'm a part of it, and I guess what kind of drew me in. My name is Cysco, and these are 5 things that I love about the furry fandom. I thought for the longest time that I needed some kind of artistic skill in order to call myself a furry. That was somewhat disheartening to me because I'm not an artist in any sense of the word. I cannot draw, I'm not a musician, I can't do any kind of writing aside from research or possibly some investigative journalism, but that's in the past. You name an artistic skill, I probably can't do it. But I injected myself into the fandom anyway, if inject is the right word. I made Cysco in some online persona generator, sent it off to an artist, had some art commissioned, which you can see on the screen. I'll link to the artist page on Fur Affinity down in the description. And I really just started exploring. I just wanted to immerse myself in the culture, you know, sort of to see if it was for me. And I was surprised to see just how many people were in similar positions. Some of the most popular furries on the platform really don't know how to draw, and they admit this themselves. I can only cite Majira right now because that's the only person I know of who's actually said that.
Also, I can't draw very well.
Yeah, just hearing Majira say those 3 words, yeah, that was good enough for me. In short, the furry fandom is accessible to just about anyone. There's very little requirement needed to call yourself a furry. Just as long as you have an interest in anthropomorphism on any level whatsoever, be it artistic, spiritual, sexual, or whatever, and you're willing to deal with the social stigmas of being called a furry, then the fandom will welcome you with open arms. We seem to give everybody the benefit of the doubt when they're new, and chances are you probably won't get completely shunned unless you continue to repeat bad behavior after being warned multiple times. Let's make one thing perfectly clear, alright? Furries are fucking weird. But let's also be perfectly honest. What constitutes being normal? Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this because Cotherix already made a great video about it. I'll link that video in the description. But apparently, people do some pretty damn crazy things that are considered pretty normal in our society. Such as going out to a football game with your face painted in extremely bright colors. That's considered normal. Going outside practically wearing your pants around your ankles is considered pretty normal. Going out on a Friday night, going to a nightclub, getting yourself blackout drunk, stumbling out into the middle of the street where you're going to be a danger to yourself and others, seems like a pretty normal thing to do in our society. But wanting to go outside dressed as an animal and have some harmless fun for a few hours is somehow weird and cringe and ooh no, get it away from me. No. Fuck you, give me a fucking break. Honestly, fuck being normal. I'm a pretty weird guy with a rather dark sense of humor, and it's pretty difficult for me to have to act professional and, dare I say, normal all the damn time. It's great to be a part of a community where I can just let my weirdnesses and my dark humor run free. It's quite liberating, and I love that about this fandom. This one sort of ties into what I said at the end of number 1. Whether you like it or not, there's still a lot of fake news and myths floating around about the furry fandom, be it that we're all a bunch of sexual deviants and zoophiles, or that we all think we're somehow spiritually connected to animals. And no matter how great a job some furries do at dispelling these myths, they're still all out there, and we're not going to get rid of them anytime soon. Seeing how much furries have been mocked, ridiculed, and misrepresented in the media and in society, as well as being guilty of it myself, I think it's a real testament to our mental and emotional strength as individuals that we're still willing to call ourselves a part of this fandom. In our hearts, we know that we're all just the same as any other fandom, and we will never let anybody else tell us any different. And especially in today's political climate, we're always so worried about being well-liked. We're always so concerned over our own image that we'll do anything in our power to avoid pissing someone off. But the reality is that someone is inevitably going to get mad at you or dislike you for something. Only thing you can do is brush them off and keep doing your thing. I have been striving to achieve this level of not caring what other people think for years, actually coming up on a decade now. I've seen quite a lot of that in the fandom, and that's really part of what drew me in. Have a walk in my home city for just 5 minutes and you'll realize exactly why I don't trust people. Living in New York City for almost 20 years, so literally my entire life, where there's someone who wants to scam me on damn near every street corner, has really done a number on my trust in people. And, of course, taking university classes in cybersecurity hasn't helped either. I've been basically indoctrinated into this condition of having a lack of trust in people, no matter what they've done or didn't do. Mind you, these are people who have done absolutely nothing to me, and who I have no reason to distrust or dislike. I just don't trust people, plain and simple. Seeing as how the furry fandom has a history of being mocked and ridiculed by society, one would think that they would be at least somewhat mistrustful, cold, or even hostile towards outsiders and new furries. But I haven't experienced any of this at all. Every single furry that I have talked to has been very friendly and very trusting of me. Furries are genuinely some of the friendliest people I've ever met, and I really think that's another testament to our overall strength. We let other people's opinions of us influence neither our behavior nor our opinions of them. Lastly, there is nothing that exists on God's green earth that is more adorable than a fursuiter in character. Enough said. Again, I'm very new to the fandom. I've only been here for maybe about 3 weeks or so, and this video is purely my own thoughts. It's not well researched in the least bit. If I missed anything, or you think I got anything wrong, please feel free to point it out in the comments. Let me know. I'm here to learn and to be a part of the fandom just like everyone else, not to preach that I know the truth. Anywho, I think I'm going to wrap things up here. I've pretty much said everything I wanted to say. My name is Cysco. I'm very much looking forward to hearing your thoughts. So you guys have a good night. Take it easy.